All right, Twistzz, a 13-0 to end your stage one run. Yeah, kind of a stark contrast to map one. You were just coming in, you looked a little bit tired there. What was that down to? You know, the second map felt like it was kind of easy day for you guys.
Yeah, second map was easy, but obviously you have to celebrate after every round. Even if you feel like 5 rounds on CT and Nubis is enough, more rounds the better, and you always want to celebrate that. Yeah, T-side Inferno got a bit complicated. We haven't really played it that much against Complexity. We never got into like mid to late round situations because of how they played. So there was like Wildcard kind of tested like how good are where are we at on this map basically. But yeah, took tech pause, adjusted things, adjusted pacing. I feel like it went a lot better. We were in control the entire OT, so was not really worried. First series, I don't know. I mean, it was a fun day. It was a very good day of CS, and we can't, regardless of bracket, we cannot underestimate our opponents here.
Was it too hard to manage your energy levels? I mean, you obviously had a bit of a break between the couple of series, but yeah, was that something that maybe played a part?
No, I mean, I had full energy the whole time. I mean, if you're asking why I'm tired now, it's because obviously I am obviously IGL, but I'm also calling a lot all the time, including a lot of stuff on CT too, which is new to me, even if it's regardless because of position. But today the whole, especially in this last series, the whole team really contributed. NertZ and Ultimate, very, very good players. I think Ultimate had some of his best communication that he's had since he's joined the team on Anubis, and everyone could definitely feel it, that he was on one, and so was NertZ. So yeah, no, we did really good at balancing our energy. I mean, we have Edward for a reason to help us with that, but I think people in this team really are aware of that. They don't want to do too much. We know when to conserve our energy and when to use it, and I don't know. It's also nice when people are giving each other energy, right? A lot of good vibes.
Tell me about this NertZ edition. Yeah. First of all, I think Naf was saying in one of the interviews that you guys looked at him already in one of the previous kind of rebuilds of Liquid, right? So it was somebody that you guys had your eyes on for a while, So tell me about the thinking in the first place, about the philosophy of this change in particular and what it brings to the team that's going to be different from the previous iteration.
I mean, I was eyeing NertZ for a while. I mean, it was supposed to be him and Ultimate together back then. Sorry, my voice. Didn't have much water today yet. So. He just has a very unique trait. Some of the other Israeli entries, I feel like he's also sharing this trait with them where he can be a pretty pure entry. He knows how to go first. He's playing on pure instincts. And he has such a solid understanding of the game, and it helps me a lot that I can put a lot of trust in him. But yeah, was definitely eyeing him for a long time.
Yeah, that's the entering obviously something that kind of has been a point of criticism, whether you guys do have somebody who can be that more of a pure entry in situations where it's necessary. Is that something that you had in mind when you were going into this change? How do you deal with that to kind of balance out this, I don't know if you can call it a problem, but this fact?
It's not really a problem. It was just getting things in place to where okay, the roles are there. Me and NertZ are the aggressive players. We're going to be the openers no matter what. Entering executes and this type of stuff and taking maps control. Kind of just getting the others to understand you'll help us and you'll end up in the clutch kind of thing. But yeah, I feel like we're finding the right balance. I think JKS has had some difficulties maybe adjusting to positions. His, CT side Ancient can be, I mean, it's a new spot. Usually there's some positions in the game where it's either you have it or you don't in the position, and I feel like sometimes he's tasked with learning difficult rules, but I consider him a very versatile player, and he's very keen to always learn and study his spots. So put a lot of faith in him to kind of make adjustments, and yeah, so I don't think anything has been an issue lately, even if our games have not been the cleanest. It's giving us good experience as a 5.
For you, it kind of came with being set up more rather than setting up other people, right? And this kind of move to being more aggressive again. Is that a position that fits you better than what you had before? Or do you feel like your versatility is kind of high enough to be able to slot in depending on the team's need?
I mean, I really enjoy entering. Obviously, there's some maps where I am just slightly more supportive. Obviously, I don't want to limit Ultimate and his movement, especially if he has AWP on T Inferno. So I'm kind of I'm okay with holding flashes, and I understand when I need to be needed as well. And obviously, I balance it out on most maps where I'm a bit supportive and then I'm aggressive. But lately, it has kind of I don't know. I just like it. I don't know. I enjoy getting set up. I enjoy going first on the execute. It also helps when I'm making the execute for my team, so I understand as the entry like where my flashes are landing, where I don't need to look, and so on. And I enjoy taking map control. Like I said, like I've been trying to transition to aggressive player for a while, and I know NertZ has kind of been labeled for some reason as a passive player, but I always saw that he had good entry stats on heroic and ENS as well. I think he's getting to flourish and kind of abuse his mechanics a bit more because he's a very insane player. So yeah, I enjoy entering, especially when I know that guy's behind me.
Speaking of, some of the games not being as clean, obviously you guys played the heroic twice already this year, lost both times. Yeah, but what happened?
I don't know. The liquid curse or something. Went from phase to liquid, haven't beat them. Now he went from heroic to liquid, haven't beat them. So some things just kind of stick in the org. Some things that we have to break and get over. I don't think it's a mental hurdle. I just think that we are like a new team. Like NertZ has a completely different skill set than Yekindor, so it is an adjustment period because he's in a very important role. And yeah, I'm trying to match my calling, just to make sure that he feels like he's getting as utilized as possible.
Mm-hmm. Wanted to ask about the team's position heading into Katowice and kind of where you guys are in this season, obviously. You guys accepted a couple of invites for Katowice and EPL and obviously skipped one of them. Does that put more pressure on you guys to perform at this event, to be able to stay, in that invite cycle, because you could be somewhere on the edge of that if you don't have that good result,
I wish I could say that skipping was the team's decision. I'm always ready to play every event. Points matter a lot. I know experience matters a lot, so the more I can play and call under this lineup, the better. And obviously, it does suck not being able to play Cluj. Yeah, it is what it is. We'll make the best out of it. It just means we have to make a deeper run in this event. It is a bit surprising how early the cutoff is for the major. It's a bit insane, but it's fine. It's also a learning experience for Valve. This is the first time they've taken over. I think it's important that TOs and orgs kind of speak up and be like, "Yo, this is like a bit crazy." But at the same time, we have hindered ourselves with not accepting the Cluj invite. So it is what it is.
I wanted to ask you about the new Valve rule as well that kind of touches you guys and Wildcard, kind of the two biggest teams that has some sort of an impact on. Maybe it's not going to come into play for you guys too much, but I'm curious about your thoughts about, how Valve have deliberated what region you will be assigned to depending on where in the ranking you fall in the specific region that you belong to,
I like it because we're not the ones that choose. So if we end up in the Asia ranking, it's region, it's not our problem. Like Valve put us there. So cannot really hate the team or players at that point, like we've seen in past situations where teams have chosen to either manipulate the system in some way or other to gain an advantage. But yeah, it's whatever. It kind of makes sense to be honest. Like, if we're labeled two regions, then obviously they'll give us whichever one is putting us deeper into the event. I don't know. I don't think of another way they could have balanced it out, to be honest.
All right. What about in terms of, you also kind of a dual region team in other terms, right? Technically, you could accept invites depending on region. Is that something that you guys think about, kind of like having the opportunity to double dip? Is that something that you see as an advantage, do you think?
We can consider it. We boot camped in Singapore before the major last year and saw that practice is actually not so bad over there. So if it makes sense with being able to make progress as a team, then we'll just choose accordingly.
All right. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Sorry. Thanks, man.